Ilia Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett is the biggest fight in recent UFC memory since Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. They both absolutely hate each other. Obviously, it stemmed from a deep root religious comment Paddy Pimblett made when he first signed with the UFC about 4 years ago. 2021, I believe Paddy Pimblett signed. He fought in September of that year, maybe 2022. Folks, Paddy Pimblett made a comment essentially about, haha, no wonder the Russians bully you guys and don't accept you. Da, da, da. Ilia took it as a different thing, and obviously Guram, whatever his name is, got involved. That's how this started. But now, if you had told me a year ago Paddy Pimblett would be in the top 10 of lightweight and Ilia Topuria would be world champion, I would say, fuck, that's an ideal scenario, because back in the day it was like, I can't really make those guys fight, they're not in the same division, and now Ilia has literally boomed to the top of the division where Paddy Pimblett is slowly making his way up, and now they're in a position of where they could possibly be fighting next, and Paddy Pimblett could be fighting for a UFC world title. Now, if you had told me that a few years ago, I'd say, nah, he'd never get to that level. He's not good enough. But Paddy Pimblett's really fucking good at fighting. He just knows how to fight. His striking's not the best, but it works. He's just talented. He's just naturally very good at competing and getting the victory. And they are both undefeated within the UFC. I think they've both got 8 victories in the UFC as well. So I believe Pimblett is second. Is Pimblett 8? I think he must be about 8 wins in a row now within the UFC under the banner. Obviously, Paddy Pimblett, a lot of people think need one more win in the top 3 or 4. I personally think I agree with that. However, Arman Sarukian was meant to be fighting I can't say his last name ever. Arman Sarukian was supposed to be fighting in January against Islam Makhachev. He pulled out the day before. He couldn't make weight. He blamed it on injury. And now he's just sitting there saying, oh, I deserve a title shot. Mate, you literally ruined an event on one day notice and now you're sitting out waiting for them to just give you a title shot. You need to go out there and fight again and prove that you're still one of the best in the world and earn that shot back. You literally ruined an event. You kind of threw Money Moicano's career off the fucking rails. You've ruined the whole event and like the whole promotion behind the event. Islam versus Arman was meant to be a huge thing. On literally 30 hours notice, Moicano had to say, yeah, okay, I'll fight the hardest test. The number one pound for pound fighter in the world. Sorry, the previous number one pound for pound. Oh, Ilia Topuria is a fucking legend. And he's just sitting like a little bitch. Justin Gaethje got fucking flatlined by Max Holloway. Now these are the 2 main contenders for the title. So Arman needs to fight one more time. He doesn't deserve it. Easy as that. He's a little fucking prick sitting out demanding a title shot like a bell end. Justin Gaethje just beat number 13 in the world, number 12 in the world, Rafael Fiziev, who's a phenomenal fighter, but he's not that level. And then before that, he was knocked out fucking brutally by Max Holloway. And before that, he beat Dustin Poirier. So I just want to say this. He's saying, oh, I did the UFC a favour taking the Holloway fight. They owe me a title shot. Fuck right off. And then he's saying, I'll retire if I don't get a title shot. All right, bye. See you later. See you later. See you later. What they should do is let Ilia Topuria sit out until January and do in September or October, September, whatever. They should do Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje, Arman versus Dan Hooker. And then you have one of them fight Topuria. Let Topuria have some time off and celebrate his win. That's exactly what you should do. However, the alternative option is, and this would be my preference. There's what they should do and what I would love them to do. Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria in January, February next year. Under the Netflix deal, first pay-per-view of 2026. Or you can do November, December in the Bernabeu in Madrid. Pimblett versus Topuria in Spain would be the biggest UFC event and probably the most watched ever. There's the Conor McGregor-Khabib rivalry. Great. Khabib wasn't a character. Topuria is a fucking iconic character, and so is Paddy Pimblett. They're both characters. They both have millions of followers. It'll be a fucking huge event. They'll both be talking shit. Paddy Pimblett also has a fantastic chance of beating him. Charles Oliveira did look nervous while walking out, while in the cage. Pimblett won't have that. Pimblett has this, the same as Topuria, this deep-rooted self-belief and confidence that comes across as delusion, which 50% of his delusion, but he knows he can get it done. He knows he can beat Ilia. Pimblett versus Topuria would feed fucking families. It would boost the UFC. It would be literally, you could do a world tour for Ilia versus Pimblett. Which Dana loves both of them. I think you could do it. Let the fans fucking cry more. You want Justin Gaethje to fucking fight for the belt? Do you want boring Arman Tsarukyan to fight for the belt? There's fair, and then there's business. There's wanting the sport to go to the moon, and then there's making a fucking boring, fucking shitty title fight. Also, Arman would get finished by Ilia. Did you see him in the pocket getting rocked by that boy before, when he was on his win streak? Did you see him going life and death with Oliveira? Look what Ilia just did to him. We want fresh blood. Justin Gaethje got fucking flattened by Oliveira. Justin Gaethje would get flattened by Ilia. I almost just want to make Ilia and Justin Gaethje fight next weekend on short notice just to get him out the fucking way, retire him, get rid of the Gaethje. He's a fucking prick. No one wants Justin Gaethje around. He's an absolute bellend. Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria would be amazing. You could literally do a trilogy. Over the next 5 years, you could just have Ilia and Paddy fight each other 3 times and it would just be fucking immense. The lightweight division's at a really weird point right now where it's like, it's not as stacked as it was like a year ago, weirdly, because Ilia Topuria has come along and just fucking really shown that featherweight skill will always come up and do fucking really well at lightweight. It's almost kind of like decredited the lightweight division in a way. They hate each other, which is fucking great. Pimblett fucking hates Ilia and Ilia hates Pimblett. There's like a deep-rooted fucking hatred. And there's the storyline of this is 5 years in the making. They attacked each other in a hotel lobby on Pimblett's like second UFC fight and Ilia's third. It was something crazy like that. And now they're fighting for the most prestigious award in all of mixed martial arts against each other. They've both had 8 fights in the UFC. I think they both had like 6 finishes. They literally have the exact same record. Ilia's obviously just become a champ and fast-tracked it and has had more dominant of performances. Also, Paddy Pimblett is really fucking good. He doesn't look it, but he's really fucking good. And I think it could be a phenomenal fight. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. That's what to do. What else is there to do? Dan Hooker versus Arman is what to do. Give Arman not a layup fight, but a fight where it's like, okay, come out here and show us how fucking good you are against the Dan Hooker. And let Gaethje fight Pimblett in the meantime if you're not going to do Ilia versus Pimblett. Or you do Arman versus Pimblett, and you do Gaethje versus the winner of Holloway and Poirier. Or sorry, if Holloway wins, you do Holloway Gaethje 2. Which doesn't make any sense at all. Like, I don't fucking know. This is what I mean. What you need to do is give it some time. Let these guys fight. But if you're not going to do that, just let the UFC say this is the biggest fight ever. Paddy Pimblett, I think, 7 in the world. And I think now they're just going to have to sit back and be like, look at the top 5. Holloway and Dustin are booked. Arman's not getting a shot because he fucked us over last time. And that's been stated. So if they do give Arman a title shot, they'd lose a lot of credibility. Justin Gaethje had beat number 13 now, whereas Oliveira just beat Chandler, fought for a title, got smoked. Pimblett has beaten Chandler more dominantly than anybody has in the UFC, and everybody who's just beaten Michael Chandler has had a shot at the title or at a BMF belt after that. So you can do it as Michael Chandler is literally the stepping stone to get to a title because you can just market it as that. Pimblett's just beaten Chandler. Oliveira just beat Chandler and Pimblett did it better and Oliveira fought for the belt. And there's going to be all these fans like Arman, all the Muslim fans. Arman deserves it. Oh, brother, Arman. It's like, no, he's boring. And people are also complaining about how Ilia Topuria is now pound for pound number 1. This is some more news. Guys, has a Dagestani ever flatlined anybody once? Let alone 3 times in a row? The 3 greatest fighters, the 2 greatest featherweights of all time, and the number 1 most exciting lightweight champion of all time in a row. That's what Ilia Topuria just did. Whereas Dustin Poirier was Islam Makhachev's lightweight. Volkanovski, yes, Islam defeated on short notice, went life and death in their first fight, and has just beaten Renato Moicano. Justin Gaethje is a better resume than Islam. Oh my god, this is fucking hilarious. So yeah, fucking cry more. Ilia Topuria is the fucking man. He's the fucking boy. Shout out to Stan Morris. Check out his channel down below. Subscribe to me as well. Let me know what you think.